Asking what the best way to generate leads is kind of like asking like what's the best way to grow food. And you'd be like, well, it depends on what kind of food you want to eat, and then also what kind of resources you have at hand. Because you'd be like, well, all the ways to grow food are the best ways to grow food, depending on your priorities, goals, and resources that you have there. And so I still like paid methods for generating leads, mostly because they're so judgmental. It's very hard to be bad for long because you wake up every day and you're just confronted with either, hitting your KPIs, heading in a positive direction, or you're hitting in a negative direction, and asking yourself, how do I make this better? Um, like long term, like I enjoy it all. I like all the methods for getting leads. And so I've done training on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is this weird unicorn where it's pay to play. They literally have a pay to prospect. You can do lead generation, you pay. Um, but it's strategic, like cold outreach. So basically, if you can marry cold with a low cost pay to play, it's probably the highest ROI from like a lead generation perspective, where you set an automated system into place, you pay it. It's literally like $100 a month and it runs, but it's limited, because they constrain how many people you can talk to in the ecosystem there. Um, but yeah, I really like paid. It's an easy exchange of, I'm trading a replenishable asset for an unreplenishable asset. I'm spending money to buy back time. It also is controlled. So if you once you start doing it, you get the math on it, and you're like, okay, if it costs me, let's say ultimately it costs you, $1,000 to get a customer, if I need 10 customers, I could spend $10,000, right? There's a very easy understanding of the math there. And you can also start to have very finite control over your CAC, your cost to acquire a customer. And you see the other lever there is like your lifetime value, your value per customer. And so we've been able to just tweak this relationship of how much does it cost to acquire a customer and how much is that customer worth, very acutely in the paid environment there. I'll say like SEO, we've been doing SEO for years. There was an update that was made on the end of June 2025. And we'd seen it for a consistent like 18, almost 2 years of consistent organic growth, organic leads, all these things positively happening. June 30th, this update goes through with Google, poof, just cuts our legs out. And that's the world of organic. Whereas on like paid, things change and tweak, but at the end of the day, you're like, okay, I can muscle through it by paying more, and that might mean increasing my price, but like finding a way to like get the exchange there working. But ultimately, any traffic source is going to be valuable, and it matters more so to know like what are your constraints and what kind of leads do you want there too. So I generally prefer inbound leads. Makes it easier on a sales process there because they pursued you, versus outbound like cold email. You can do it. You could just scrape leads. There you go. You got your leads. But it doesn't. It's a lot more work to convert them to a buyer. What you just saw was a clip from one of our coaching calls. I do one-on-one calls with people. I also do small group stuff. We do live events. If that's what you're looking for, kind of like a community or specific guidance and assistance, I'm going to put a link down below. Would love to talk with you, see if it's a good fit. Hop on and see how we can help you in that way. Otherwise, I've got actually another clip here that I think you're going to enjoy.